schemes?
George municipality is the biggest one that is in areas in the Western Cape. They haven't paid towards the pension fund of municipal workers for 246 months. That's a DA-run municipality. So as Mossel Bay, almost more than 200 months they haven't paid. Also DA-run. Umsunduzi municipality, which is run by the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, hasn't paid in over 100 months. Motu local municipality, which is run by the IFP, hasn't paid also in over 100 months. So municipalities across South Africa, municipalities in the Free State, in the Northwest, in the Northern Cape, there's no municipality that is not implicated in this. It seems to be only in Gauteng, where it's only the Western municipality that is in areas for about 6 months. But generally in Gauteng, there seems to be compliance. But it seems to be municipalities which would ordinarily be characterized as rural municipalities, where there's no much, not metropolitans, where there isn't much attention. You won't find your Cape Metro, you won't find your Nelson Mandela Bay, you won't find your Johannesburg, because possibly there's a lot more activism and eyes of the media on those areas. But where our people don't necessarily have access to information, access to resources of media to be able to speak out, that seems to be where the focus of these crimes are. And the leaders of the so-called government of national unity are heavily involved in terms of they are in control of the municipalities themselves.
I actually wanted to go there. If you look on the issue of the government of national unity, most of them involve all these parties that you have just spoken about now, the DA, the IFP, the ANC. Those are the big three, if I come to think about it. Do you think it would be a good idea for South Africans to trust them in the next 5 years that they're going to be in government if they can do this in such municipalities? I mean, securities are some of the poorest of the poorest. I mean, do you think that they would be capable enough to run government if these allegations tend to be true, to say this is what you guys have been doing in municipalities in the corners? Do you think they are capable enough?
It's an ominous sign. It's a very bad sign of the type of governance that has now presided over South Africa at a national level. Because if you can't have appropriate financial systems in place to execute a very simple task, you have the systems to withdraw the money every month from a worker's salary. What makes it difficult to hand over that money to people? No one should even touch that money. It shouldn't even occur as part of the revenue generating areas for a municipality. It shouldn't be allocated for any activity the municipality must exercise, whether it's to pay its debt, whether it's to maintain infrastructure. That money is for labor costs, and those labor costs are the pension funds of workers. So that money shouldn't even be a discussion even on a municipal budget, because the task is to deduct it from a worker, hand it over to a pension fund. The fact that that line of stream of moving that income from one place to another has been disrupted for periods up to 240 months shows deliberate corruption. It's not mismanagement, it's not even misappropriation. It can't be characterized as a mistake, it can't be characterized as an oversight. There's a deliberate intention to stop a clear stream of money from a worker's salary to their pension fund for nefarious purposes. So I think South Africans should be scared of that.
Why do you actually take a step to ensure that this does not happen?
I think it's two factors. It's Kotongwana's reputation with pension funds is dubious. That makes us believe that's why he's reluctant. With Canyon Springs, for example, he was a director, his wife was a chairperson, and they drew Kotongwana's salary from a loan that they took from Trillion Investments, which managed the pension funds of textile workers at the time between 2008 and 2011. And as the chairperson of that company, Kotongwana was being paid from that 93 million that was sourced from Trillion Investments. So this is where the role of asset managers come in, because an asset manager will take a pension fund's money and promise various investments, be it loans or commodities, that they'll grow it in that instance. And Kotongwana was a beneficiary of a corrupt asset manager's role in transferring money from a pension fund under the guise of seeking to grow that money in itself. So they received that money. Kotongwana drew a salary from that money from a Canyon Springs company, which was a shell, by the way, which was in debt for about 58 million. And he got that money. When there was an inquiry into it, they deemed it as mismanagement and bad investments. And that money was never paid back to about 20,000 workers in the textile and clothing industry. And those are mainly women who are till today destitute, and till today that money hasn't been paid back. So that history of Kotongwana, and the fact that we've been trying to engage with him for 8 months and he's just not been cooperative. They've only noted a receipt of our letter to him where we tried to give him guidance as to how to address this issue. Gives us a sign that he might be complicit, not only complicit, but directly involved. The second factor I would think is that security guards and municipal workers are some of the lowest in the working class. So people don't necessarily care. If this was affecting workers in banks, workers in the financial sector, if it was affecting members of parliament, if a member of parliament who was removed after 5 years from parliament and they try to access their pension fund and they are told it's not there, that would be a story. But because it's security guards, the lowest of the low, people from the slums, no one cares about that story, which is why the EFF has been arrogantly and persistently trying to put it on the front pages of South Africa's